Hi everyone, so I'm going to be doing a slightly different video today. I'm going to be doing a little bit, I did not mean to bang, to ding, like that, but I'm going to be doing a little bit about me. I haven't really done anything like this, so thought about it. I actually already did one, but I didn't upload, well I did upload it, but it was like unlisted or private or whatever, and it was kind of, I didn't really think it through, and it wasn't very structured, and I want to like let y'all know if anybody's subscribing or whatever, who I am as a person, because it's like the internet, and you want to somehow know the person that's behind the screen without it being way 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 too much. So yeah, um let's get started. So my name is Lena, obviously. Hi. Um, I am from Northern Ireland. Hence my accent. Um, I did grow up in the Ballyclare area, so the my accent's not the stereotypical Northern Irish. It's not like very very broad, and not only that, my grandmother who took care of me, she's also from Ballyclare, and so her accent is not the most strong either. And so my Northern Irish accent, it isn't the strongest, but yeah. Oh, before I continue, I have on my pinky and thumb, I have White Rabbit with Head in the Clouds from Mooncat. It's all from Mooncat. And then these two are Moon Fairy, which is really, really beautiful. And then this middle one is A Midsummer's Dream, which I don't really wear a lot of like pinks like this, but you see in low light, it has a lovely ethereal kind of glow to it. Really, really lovely. And that box is in the back because I have cats and I'm not yet. They love that box. So I usually like keep a box like for like a week or two, and then if I get another package or whatever, or I notice that they're getting bored of it, I'll then throw it out. So they're still interested, so that's gonna stay there until they get bored. Because if you have cats, you know how they love boxes. So yeah, before I got sidetracked, speaking about accents, one thing I've noticed about me as a person is if I hang out with you a lot, and if we are friends and I speak to you quite a bit, I notice that I tend to copy your accent without thinking. Because a couple of years ago, I had a very I kind of had a little bit of like an American twang to my accent because I spoke with a lot of American people. So I had a little bit of like an American twang almost. And now that I'm kind of talking more to Northern Irish people again, my accent's kind of started to get a little bit more Northern Irish again. And my grandmother even said that my accent's gone a little bit thicker since moving from her house to where I am now. Which obviously I'm not gonna state because it's privacy, it's the internet. But where I'm living right now, the accent is stereotype. If you're familiar with the Northern Irish accent, where it's really thick like this, and I talk like this, and it's very very thick. Even I can't do the stereotypical accent, but she did say my accent's got a little bit thicker. So I don't know, but yeah, apparently, if I'm not mistaken, a lot of people find the Northern Irish accent sexy. Okay. But because I hear it on a daily basis, I don't find it very sexy. But yeah. Oh yeah, I recently cut my hair. I didn't really cut my fringe though. I need to fix it, but my hair is a lot shorter now. But so yeah, that's with accents. Um, what else a little bit about me? I am 5'3.5". I have a runny nose. Hold on, I actually do have a chronic runny nose. I've had this runny nose since 2020, and apparently it's just like a side effect of my hypo. Which another thing that I have a few autoimmune disorders. The main one that I have is hypothyroidism, which is an autoimmune disorder. It's a problem with the thyroid gland, which is located in the throat, and it produces thyroxine, which is just a natural hormone that the body makes, and it helps regulate your metabolism and helps regulate your energy and your mood and things like that. My body doesn't make that because my immune system attacks my thyroid, thinking it's a foreign body, so stops it from working. So I have to take levothyroxine, which is just the artificial version. And so having hypothyroidism, it can lead to weight gain, very easy weight gain, as you can see. You need to be a little bit you need to be a lot stricter with what you eat and things like that. Is We have a lot of problems with regulating our body temperature. For instance, being really cold in the summer, being really warm in the winter, which I don't really deal with being cold in the summer, but I get really hot in the winter time, which is weird, but it's true. But I don't really deal with being too warm. I mean, too cold in the summer. Um, Another thing that can lead to Hashimoto's, which could then lead to cancer, like thyroid cancer. And then having an autoimmune disease can also open you up to other autoimmune diseases such as celiac. And I also am currently going through tests for B12. There's a condition called pernicious anemia, which stops your body just doesn't absorb vitamin B12. And as a result of that, you can have problems with your nervous system, problems with your eyes. One of the very extreme um, side effects of lack of B12 can be delusions and hallucinations, which was a bit like, ooh. But because I used to be vegan, and then my B12 went, and then I stopped being vegan and started eating animal product again, because that's where B12 comes from. Naturally, it comes from animal product. And now, even though I'm eating animal products again, my B12 is not getting any higher. Because I'm eating B12. I'm not obviously overeating an animal product. I'm just eating the regular portion, because I have spoken to a dietitian and everything about portion sizes and things like that. But I'm also topping it off with nutritional yeast, and I also have medication with B12, and my levels haven't really gone up. It's not dangerously low, but it's still on the low side, and it hasn't updated at all. So they're gonna do I can't remember what he said, my doctor said, but they're gonna do something to do with like cells. And if it comes back positive, then I definitely have pernicious anemia, which means I would need to get injections for the rest of my life. And that can lead to well, with pernicious anemia, you get very tired. Um, Hold on, I got hair in my mouth. Yeah, there we go. You get very tired because you don't get a lot of energy. But then with what I have, my thyroid, I don't get a lot of energy from the food that I eat. So it's a bit of a pain. I'm also going through tests for fibromyalgia at the moment. So I haven't been diagnosed with fibromyalgia yet, and I haven't actually been diagnosed with pernicious anemia, but I do know I have a problem with B12. So that's it's not fun. What other things? I have an astigmatism in my eyes, both of them. And astigmatism is basically like permanently blurred vision. Um, which is why I wear glasses. And also, whenever I take my glasses off, sometimes I can make my eyes kind of. Don't know if I can do it like. Hold on. Woo! If I like look, see, I can make it kind of like go outward. See if I do it with the other eye. Yeah, see. So so sometimes if I'm looking at someone and don't have my glasses on, like one eye will look at them, the other eye will kind of like wander off. But I can do that. I can do it on command, but then I also can't do it on command. I used to have childhood asthma. Still kind of have a little bit of it, but it's not so bad. But yes, that's, and also, mental health as well. Dealing with anxiety and depression and all that stuff is just so much fun, isn't it? But that's just a long book. That's just a bit too personal for the internet. So yeah. What else? Go with something a little bit more fun. Um, what things? I believe in ghosts. I believe that ghosts exist. I believe that there has, if when it comes to like the afterlife and things like that, I don't believe in heaven or hell. I don't believe that there's a good place, and I don't believe that there's a bad place. I believe that where we are now is where we are now, and we shouldn't make our lives aim towards not going to the bad place and going to the good place. Because then you kind of stop living in a way. But I do believe that if someone believes in the afterlife, then there would be one for them. While if someone doesn't believe in the afterlife, if they believe that there's nothing there, then there'll be nothing there. You know what I mean? It depends on your personal belief. That's what I think. You know what I mean? But when it comes to like ghosts and things like that, if they don't go anywhere, if they don't go to an afterlife, then where do they go? And then there's another theory with that no, ghosts aren't real, but because there are different timelines in the world and like within the universe, what we are experiencing that could be considered a ghost is just other people in a different timeline. This happens to be in the exact same spot we are, just in a different timeline in time and space. It's kind of interesting. Do I believe in aliens? Yeah, I believe that I don't necessarily believe that they're like little green men, but I do believe it's a bit foolish to think that in the vast galaxy that we live in, the solar system isn't just Mercury, Mars, Pluto, Saturn. It's so huge. It's a bit silly to think that we're the only life. You know what I mean? It's highly unlikely, with all the galaxies, all the planets, that we are the only one with life on it. Don't think so. Come on now. But I don't think that they're like little green men or anything like that. They probably just look similar to us, or they look how they would to adapt to their planet. I remember watching a video. What was it? How humans would evolve on each of the different planets. Like how would they look on Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. It was really interesting to see like if we were able to like live there. There's another thing I really like learning about the solar system. I I like learning about it. One of the things that I love to tell people is that Mercury is not the warmest planet in the solar system, even though it's the closest to the sun. It's actually Venus, because of the gas traps all that heat in and just makes it warmer. And another thing, that Uranus is my favorite planet, um, because I can't remember which way. It either absorbs red and reflects blue, or absorbs blue and reflects red, but it constantly looks teal because of it. But not only that, an asteroid knocked it on its side, so instead of it spinning like this, it spins like this. And it's so cute. And I'm like, "Aw." So I like Uranus. It's my favorite planet. And it makes people, because it's Uranus, it makes it quite funny. What other things am I interested in? Yeah, I like paranormal. I like learning about things like that. Would I ever fuck about with it? No. Uh, mm-mm. But I just like learning about things like that. I like watching spooky stories before I go to sleep, and um at night if I'm drinking tea, which is awful if you have black cats, because if they sneak up on you and jump up on your chest, it's like because it's dark. and that's what Ebony tends to do. Speaking of cats, I have 3 that are with me at the moment. I actually have 3 others that are still with my grandmother, mainly because they are closer to my grandmother, especially Freya. Freya is Ebony's sister. They are actually sisters. They are litter mates. The rest of them were just adopted siblings, and Freya and her were both feral for a time. Freya, she's not a very social cat. She will be 4 in June, and only like last year and a half, she started to really come out of her shell, and she loves my grandmother. So if I were to take her whenever I moved, she would have went right back to square one again and kind of went back into being like a recluse. Bruce doesn't deal very well with stress, and Athena is very close with Bruce, and Freya is close with Athena. So I didn't want to break those 3 up. So, and then the 3 I did bring, Theo, Ebony, and Loki, they are mine. You know what I mean? Like, if my cats were able to speak, those Theo, Loki, and Ebony would say I'm their mama. You know what I mean? Bruce would be like, yeah, I like my mom, but like he has multiple people that he likes. You, you, you know what I mean? Athena, my partner, loves Athena, and Athena loves my partner, and Freya loves my nan. So, yeah. Um, but I still visit them. Freya wants absolutely nothing to do with me. It's Athena and Bruce. They're like, hi. Athena's like, hi, Mama, you're home. Hi, how are you? And then Bruce is like, but then eventually he'd be like, oh, hello. How are you? But yeah, he's a wee sweetheart. He's a very soft boy. Very soft boy. But yeah. And I also have a crested gecko, called Evie. I used to have 2, but unfortunately my male passed away last year. Actually, today is the 24th of March. This would have been his 7th birthday. So yeah. I don't actually know his exact birthday. All I know is I adopted him the 24th of October, and then he was, I think, roughly like a few months old, so I just counted back. So he was hatched in March, and I just took the 24th because that was the date I adopted him on. So that was his birthday. But yeah, he just passed away, and wasn't a good experience. Um, but I knew as a reptile owner, one day that would happen. Because whenever I did adopt him, the breeder that I adopted him from did say, one day you will find him passed, and it will knock the wind out of you because you don't really, especially if you've done everything right, and you haven't done anything when it comes to husbandry or anything like that. You kind of go over in your head like, what did I do wrong? Whenever there really wasn't anything. They just passed away. But Evie's been doing really, really good. When it comes to the move, she did fantastically. She's just been grand. And then the same goes with the cats as well. Whenever they moved into my flat, I was here on my own for a couple of weeks, and then I moved them all in. And Loki settled in the day of, and Theo, she was okay. She would only go through and explore different rooms if I was with her. And then Ebony would just stay in the living room, and she hid with the squishmallows. And then she went into my room and hid behind my bed. But now they don't care. They go wherever they want. They've made a claim. Um, they have a spot on my bed. They have a spot in the living room. Loki likes to sit on the windowsill along with Theo in the kitchen, that kind of thing. So it's nice that they've settled, and they're not reacting to every single little small sound anymore, because I do live in an apartment building, so there's a lot of people going in and out, a lot of doors, blah blah blah. Before, I lived in a terraced house, so you know they're not so scared anymore, so that's good. What else? Let's talk about a few of my hobbies. Yeah. I do like to go swimming. I live pretty close to a swimmers. It's just one of my favorite things to do. As a bigger person as well, it's a lot easier to do exercises in the swimming pool, like running or like jumping jacks or something like that. Because you need to, whenever you are a little bit bigger and you want to do more exercise, you need to make sure that you're not doing damage to your body too. You know, you want to do exercise, but you want to do it safely. And so just doing it in a swimming pool is easy because you are buoyant and you're weightless anyway, so you can do those exercises without having to worry about putting strain on your joints or putting strain on your kneecaps or something like that. But it's just nice, and I love the smell of chlorine. And usually, whenever I do go swimming, it depends on my mood. I will either just quickly wash my body and wash my hair and then go home, just so that I can go home, put my PJs on and go right to bed because it knocks me out. You see the post swimming nap, wonderful, and then like you can smell the chlorine on your skin. You just get knocked out. It's great. I love it. Another thing I like to do um is cooking. I enjoy cooking. I'm not really much of a baker, but I do like cooking. And I do like to feed people. I like to. That's how I show that I like someone, that I love someone, is either buying them food, making sure that they're fed that way, or cooking for them, just making sure that they're nourished in some way, because that's one of the most common and easiest ways to kind of neglect yourself is to just not eat. Not necessarily starve yourself. It's not that, but it's just not really eat or not eat much, you know. So that's what I like to do. Not I don't like feeding people to the point where like I'm making them put on weight or anything like that. I'm not that kind of person. But just so that I know that they've eaten something and they've got a little bit of strength, especially if they don't feel very very good, or if they're in so much pain that they can't cook or they can't make something, then I will either make it for them or just get them something, you know, whether it's groceries from the co-op, whatever it might be. So, another thing that I like to do, I do like taking walks. Whenever I used to live with my grandmother, there was a wood that was near me, and I would love walking there. It was so much fun. There really isn't much of a wood here, but still a nice place. I haven't actually gone out for a walk really yet because still a little bit like new to the area. But yeah, I have walked, to my doctor's and back, and you know, to the um gym and back. But yeah, I think maybe when it gets a bit warmer, I might explore a little bit more, like where I live, you know, and just kind of go for like a little walk. And then if I walk a bit too far, because it'll be like a little bit cooler, not cooler, it'll be a bit more bright because spring and summer. I don't have to worry about it getting too dark and getting lost because the sun will still be out. So I might bring my partner if they want to have like a little walk, like a little like exploration, or one of my friends because they live quite close to me, and they know the area far better than I do because they've lived here their entire life. So yeah, I might do that, and whenever I do go out for a walk, maybe whenever it's a little bit cooler, not cooler, brighter, I might do a vlog. I don't know. Um, depends because I'm just privacy and things like that. What other things do I like to do? I like to play video games. That's another thing that I enjoy doing. I play the kinds of games I like to play are a lot of role playing games. I do play some shooting games. And then I also play some fantasy and farming games and things like that. Um, One of my favorite games happens to be Skyrim. I love that game. I play it over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Another one that I really like is a little bit of an older one. Overlord is a good one. That's really good if you like Lord of the Rings. That's clearly Overlord's clearly based on Sauron, the character of the Overlord. And then not only that, the elves and the dwarves are clearly based on the elves and the dwarves from the Lord of the Rings. But it's just a good game. I like it a lot. The Dragon Age games I enjoy as well. My favorite Dragon Age game would have to be Origins. Um, I do like. I didn't really care too much for the second one, but I did, like the third one, what Inquisition. But I just didn't. I just felt like with Inquisition, it just didn't feel. When it comes to like the relationships, they just didn't feel so as special as like Origins did, you know. But hey ho. What others? I love Animal Crossing. Play that quite a bit. I have a fairy tale kind of island that I like to have. I still have it. It took like over a year for me to make it, and I will actually put my dream address in the description if anybody wants to check out my island. But that's a good one. My favorite villager of all time from Animal Crossing will have to be Kiki. I adore Kiki. I think my favorite male villager. She would be my favorite female, but my all-time favorite male, Dobby. I love Dobby. I really, really do. Uh, although my favorite male personality type would be lazy, so you'd think I would pick a lazy villager. But yeah, I like Dobby. He just a grumpy old man. He's pretty cool. I might get back into playing New Leaf again. We'll see what happens. But yeah, and then of course Stardew Valley. I like playing GTA. I like Left 4 Dead. I like World War Z. Been playing that quite a bit. That's a pretty good game. I like that one. I like how realistic it is as well. The environments and everything like that. My favorite map in World War Z. Well, not necessarily map, but like scenario. Yeah, I'm stuck between Russia, Moscow, and Tokyo. I do like Moscow. I do like going through that museum area. I do really, really like that one. But then I love the environment of Tokyo too. But yeah, my least favorite will probably be the New York one. I don't really care for the New York one. I don't really care for the New York one. And I know that there's a few of the DLC ones. There's ones where you can go to France, but I haven't got that yet. So we'll see. We'll see. What other things do I like to do? I really want to learn how to crochet. I've been looking at videos on how to crochet. That's one thing I want to start doing, or try to do. But yeah, we'll see what happens. With that, that's gonna be a lot of fun. And I do like drawing whenever I try to. I'm not the best, but it is fun to just draw sometimes and doodle. What other things? When it comes to personality type, I am described. I've done like MBTI. Is that what it's called? I am INFJ. If that's any like help to you, but I think INFJ is like a rare personality type. I don't know, or is it INFP that's the rarest? I'm not sure, but I'm INFJ. I think my partner's ENFP. I think because they're a little bit more extroverted than I am. Or ENFJ. No, I think they're ENFP. Um, I would say my Hogwarts house would be Ravenclaw. I am also an Aries, even though my grandmother and I have the same birthday. She is a Pisces and I am an Aries. I was actually born 20, I was born like, I'm a 0 degrees Aries, so I was like born right when it started. So but I do have a Pisces stellium, so I have like multiple planets in Pisces, so it makes sense. But I am an Aries Scorpio, and my so Aries Sun, Moon, Scorpio rising, with Pisces, Mars, Mercury, and a Taurus Venus. So there you go. That's my big six. What else? Another thing that I'm really interested in, go back to the paranormal, is I like true crime. That's a lot of fun. My grandmother's also into true crime. My grandmother used to watch more so documentaries and like, the crime channel. My partner's also into true crime, but they were the ones that got me more so into the true crime. I just like learning about, well, not really learning, but just like listening and just wondering what would what makes someone do something like that. What especially when it comes to not necessarily the serial killer ones or anything like that. For me, it's more of the ones where you hear, if they've lied, for instance, about um having a job or going to school, for instance, and graduating from university, and then the time comes where they should graduate and they can't because they've been lying this whole time, and then they end up killing their parents instead of just coming clean. That like interests me because you could just tell them, and if you explained, the reason why I didn't tell you is because I didn't want you to be disappointed. I felt very, pressured. You know what I mean? They're your parents. But no, they go with murder, and that just, and then you have the pieces of absolute shit that harm children and hurt children. And like, I like that. That didn't sound right, but I do like listening about child cases as well, because it's the least that you could do for that child, is to listen about what they had lived through. And especially given, with lockdown, for instance, that happened a few years ago. A lot of, wow, lockdown feels so far away now, doesn't it? But we're still feeling the the ripple. We're still feeling it. But like, in the UK alone, the amount of cases of children being locked up with their abusers during lockdown and using COVID, whenever things started opening up again, the parents just saying, oh, they have COVID, they can't come into school, when they were just using it to kind of cover up that they were being abused. That they were being abusive, and then them not feeling anything. And like, I just don't understand how someone can harm a child or their own child. So like, the least that I can do is listen to their story, because if it's difficult to listen to, then I can't imagine how it would have been like for that child to live through it. And that's the least that you could do, especially if, especially in the UK, our justice system is not the best. It's not the best, and they don't really get justice that they deserve. So that's one thing I also like to learn about when it comes to um interests. I was gonna say hobbies, but that's not hobbies and interest. It's just learning about, like, what listening to things like that and trying to like learn about, trying to understand why someone would act that way. You know? I Speaking of that, whenever I was younger, I used to think that the reason why serial killers existed was a way, I thought, because like, naturally, the animals, like population of animals, they go like this and then they go down and they go like this and then they go down. But because human population just rises and rises and rises, I thought that like serial killers was like nature's way of trying to control the population of humans. You know what I mean? Like that's why serial killers like existed, because they're just born like that. Some of them have like severe brain injury when they were a child and that affects them, but most of the time they're just born evil. And I thought, well, maybe because like humans just breed and breed and breed and breed and breed and breed and breed, then maybe evolution thought, let's make a few serial killers and then they can just kill a bunch of humans and that can lower the population a little bit. Not me. I don't think that was it. I was very young at the time. But speaking of when I was younger, um I think one of my favorite childhood movies, funny enough, was Sleepy Hollow. I love that movie. Yeah, don't really think a less than 8-year-old should have been watching Sleepy Hollow, but I was and I enjoyed it. Especially a bit when the headless horseman did cut off the entire family's head, because I thought there's no way he's gonna cut off the little kid's head, and he did. I'm like, why would you do that? Damn, like he actually did it. So that one fascinated me. Like, wow, he actually cut off the kid's head too. What did the kid do? you know, I'm like, because I was roughly the same. I was roughly like the same age. And I'm like, so nobody's safe. Um, what's another thing? When it comes to like TV shows that I like to watch a lot of like cooking things. I like MasterChef. I like the Australian version to be more specific. I like Kitchen Nightmares. I like Hell's Kitchen. I like to watch a lot of when it comes to YouTube, I like watching like Daz Black. I like watching Call Me Kevin. I like um Lazy Masquerade and Dead Meat and like things like that. That's what I like to watch in my spare time. I can't really think of anything else that I can like share with y'all. Hmm. Um. Hmm. I would say I'll round off with a few of my favorite things, and then I will end the video because it's getting a bit long actually. I would say, okay, so my favorite season would be winter. I do like winter. I would say autumn, but in Northern Ireland, autumn doesn't really last a long time here. We either have it just in September and October, and then November we just get hit with freaking winter, or we get like an Indian summer that lasts through to September, and then we just have 1 month of like pure autumnal weather, which is October. So it doesn't last a long time. Favorite drink? Tea. I love tea. Tea anything. I love tea. Yeah, I got tea for my birthday. So yeah, tea. Um, I like Italian food. I like cooking Italian food as well. Let's see. Favorite. One of my favorite scents. I do like the scent of vanilla. I also love the scent of patchouli too. Um, I also. What else do I like the scent? I like spicy scents as well. Let's see. Um, comes to like makeup and things like that. I don't really have like a favorite makeup product. I might do something like that in the future, like talk about favorite like makeup and things like that. But one of my favorite makeup styles, I do like to do a lot of grunge. Another quick thing that I like to do when it comes to makeup would be do like just eyeliner just under, like kind of like this. This is actually the remnants of a look I did that was like a complete clusterfuck. But yeah, actually kind of like this. But this is what I would kind of do. and then just leave my lid completely blank and just add some mascara, just so that I have something, and that way it's easier to take it off whenever I come back home, things like that. So it's just something very, very simple and nice. Can't think of anything else. Oh, my favorite color. Yeah, I'll go with stuff like that. My favorite color, I like burgundy. I really like burgundy. I also like gray as well, and I also love deep green. I like greens, like forest greens and olive and mossy kind of greens as well. I also like the color indigo as well, which is kind of like a blue and a purple kind of mixed together. Um, what else? I can't really think of anything else, to be honest. I can't think of anything else that's like interesting about me. um, oh, I like squishmallows. They I like collecting them. They make me happy. And I also like collecting crystals. I've stopped with the collecting of well, not really stopped, but like paused, because I'm living on my own now, and you know that money is going towards food and electricity, not a crystal. So, but I have done. If you were interested, I've done videos in the past with my crystals. I've only added, I have expanded on my crystal collection a little bit, and then also given a few crystals away since then. But it's not enough to make a new video. If that makes sense. But I have got a few extra ones since those. But my other crystal videos, that's the majority of my collection. So I've only like purchased, like less than 10 within like the past like couple of years. So yeah, within within like the past like 2 years or so, I've definitely got like less than 10. I think I've got like, I think like maybe 6 new ones, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, what else? That is about it. Yeah, that's about it. That's just a little bit about me and what I like and where I come from and who I am. And yeah, uh, hopefully you didn't find it too boring. And yeah, um, yeah, I can't think of anything else. Uh, no, can't think of anything else. So yeah, I will see you in my next video, which will be more makeup based, I promise. But yeah, I will see you in my next one. Bye, everybody.